I press the record button.
Yeah.
This is free flowing as you
Yeah.
we can edit this.
Yes, you can.
Just be conversational.
Yeah.
It's very lighthearted.
Okay.
But we'll find the snippets that are really good and
Good.
whatever they are. I don't know.
Excellent. That's
And then
all.
we'll use it for something. Of course, you'll get a copy of it.
Okay. Good. Good.
Thank you for doing this too. For putting yourself out there. Actually, I'm going to close this. So what brought you to Minnesota, and how did you come to know Mission Tree?
My mission to Minnesota is to do mission appeals. That is one of the reasons I'm here, but also to meet those friends of ours that have associated themselves with the diocese through Mission Tree. So basically, those are the two main reasons that are why I'm here.
And how did you get started with Mission Tree? How did you first hear about it personally?
It was through Father Dennis Puntambuyo Piri. He is one of my priests in the diocese. At that time, I had sent him for studies here in the US. And also it was at a time when, as a diocese, we were kind of experiencing financial problems. It was a year that we failed to send our young men to the major seminary for studies, which again, I think it was a shock to the local community because maybe the local community takes for granted that have the money, the bishop has the money, and therefore it is his responsibility to send seminarians to school. And if I make appeals, for example, that they could have to contribute something so that at least we can have something in the coffers for our major seminarians, it seems like it's something that is not true. I have the monies. And so this particular year in 2007, I told the community, I told the diocese, the clergy, the lay faithful, that that particular year I was not able to send seminarians to the major seminary. It became something that kind of shocked the community, and they wanted explanations to it. And I simply said, we have no money. And so because of that need, I thought that I could ask Father Dennis to make mission appeals here so that these young men may be able to join the major seminary. And indeed, from his visits to particular parish, to a number of parishes here, I was told that he came in contact with this young man by the name of Brandon, and he seems to have a feel with the diocese. He seems to be empathetic, to be sympathetic with our diocese and the needs of the diocese, and he's trying to come up with a project that would help us raise funds for major seminarians. And so I was excited about the whole idea. I said, well, I think probably this would be the solution. This would be the pledge that never again should we fail to send major seminarians to school because of lack of funds. And that's how I started pursuing the idea, finding out exactly who is this person and what is his idea. And together we now started thinking about how to go about it. And that's how I came to know Mr. Brandon, and also through him a number of people who are interested also in helping the diocese. And so the idea of coming here is to meet him and to meet the others and even to thank them for the work that they are doing, because I'm now able to send a few more seminarians to school. It's because of their help. And without their help, I'm pretty sure that those young ones would either be at home or would join maybe other institutions that would have sponsorship and then forget about their priestly ministry or priestly call. And so I'm so grateful that I'm finally here, and I hope that I'll be able to meet personally those that are interested in our project of Mission Tree.
Wonderful. What is it when you first heard about the Project Mission Tree? Was there anything in particular that grabbed you specifically about the project, the nature of the project, as opposed to other philanthropy efforts that have gone on in the past to assist in various ministries of your diocese?
There has been a change of emphasis in the church today, even the so-called church organizations. We seem, or rather the organizations seem to prefer issues related to health and education. If I make an application, for example, if I tell them that, I have a program that has to do with HIV and AIDS, organizations are ready to give money. If I'm able to apply for maybe a clinic, they may give me a bit of money. If I'm able to apply for, I apply for maybe boreholes, for water, sanitation, they may be able to give you something. But when we mention something to do with church per se, with issues related to formation of priests, we seem to lose friends immediately. And this is very, for me, is a point for our reflection, that these are organizations that are called the Catholic. And I've always understood that the Catholic organizations will always associate themselves with the priorities of the church, especially the local churches. But then if my priority, or in my budget, the single most biggest expense that I have is the formation of seminarians, I would easily expect that organizations would be in solidarity with the needs of the diocese and be able to understand why there is this challenge. But no, people say, okay, Bishop, we are very grateful for your application, but we regret to inform you that none of the funds that we may release for the formation of the clergy. Full stop. So what next? Doesn't solve my problem. So this particular project focuses its attention, at least in this initial stage, in the formation of priests, which is so particular, so unique. It's something that is coming out of a situation or even an environment that's becoming more secular, more to do with other things apart from specific things that are related to formation of the clergy. So that attracted my attention, and I felt, and I still believe, that through this project, we may be able to succeed in having our local clergy be formed and be at the service of the church, not only for Chipata Diocese, a particular local church, no, but for the universal church, because the church is much more than Chipata. The church is worldwide, and there are so many needs out there. People also are hungering to have a priest in their midst. Parishes are closing down in a number of places that I've visited, in Europe, here in America. Parishes are being merged together. People are coming up with what they call pastoral teams that are supposed to serve a particular, a particular region. These are not solutions. These are just stopgap solutions. They are not solutions at all. What we need is the number of priests, the increase in the number of priests that are to be at the service of the church. And so Mission Tree is focusing on something that is crucial today in our community, today in our diocese. Because I know that when I'm able to send priests to the formation houses, these priests will come back to our communities and serve the communities, not only in Chipata Diocese, as I've already said, but also outside Chipata Diocese. Who knows? They may even come to Minnesota to serve these communities here. Why? It is this project called the Mission Tree. And also, the uniqueness of this project is that it is open to other people who can donate something to this project. And so people are free to give something for the cause, for the needs of the diocese. And we hope that through this project, we may be able even to expand in order to take care of other needs, because it's not about the need for the formation of the clergy. There are also other needs, for example, in education, in health, and in some other social programs. There are also needs out there. So again, if we, God willing, if the project expands, we should be able to embrace all those needs, and we're able to respond to some of those needs. And I'm pretty sure that this project will be the lifeline for our people.
Do you have any thoughts on the nature of partnership that Mission Tree is trying to create? We talked last evening, for example, about kind of the seminarians providing feedback of life in seminary to benefactors. Do you have any thoughts about that element of the program and what that brings to the table? Not just for your diocese, but maybe for the larger church? Do you understand the nature of the question?
Talking about the partnership between us, yes.
And not necessarily between even just this specific diocese and your specific diocese, although that's kind of the beginning point. But the idea that benefactors can make a donation and then see the fruits of that donation manifested in the community by way of emails or letters that are then sent back. Can you comment on that element of the program, the project, and its unique value to hopefully